Hello and welcome once again, my fire friends. The Infernoman is back once again on live right here, and we are once again rocking it out for the midweek magic event. So, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are at. And again, welcome for those of you, whether you're watching right now live, or maybe if you're going to catch the replay, this will definitely be up, of course, on Twitch for a little while. And of course, the full stream will be available on YouTube later today. But with that, let's go ahead and let's make our way into what we're rocking today. So let's go ahead and check out the midweek magic event. So if you didn't already see from what we saw posted over on the actual official magic website, they're rocking today again a midweek magic brawl builder challenge. What is the challenge, you were maybe asking? Well, I'm glad you asked. So look like what we're seeing right here. It says, welcome to midweek magic. For each week, try out a different way to play, blah blah blah. So this week's event is a brawl challenge where we are trying to rock a commander from a card specifically from Thunder Junction. So with that, as you can see right here, there's a giant list. Obviously, we're not going to go through every single one of these. That's going to take way too long. So instead, all we're just going to do is we thankfully already have built together a sweet deck that we can rock for the event. And if we are having a little bit of extra time left over, even after we get our 3 wins for our free rares and our little cosmetic, we'll definitely take this deck into regular brawl and see how well it does from there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to get started here, and we're going to now choose our deck. And of course, there was honestly 2 options here that I wanted to look at, but also this was dependent on what we placed on a poll a couple weeks ago. If you didn't already see it, the poll basically just asked us, of course, which deck you'd like to see for midweek matching. That was based upon last week's actual event. But from what I saw from there, I'm not going to lie, I wanted to do the Landalorian, but this deck still needs a little bit more time to cook before we actually make a full deck on that. So we're going to hold off on that for a bit. However, one deck that actually I was testing and actually worked on a lot here, and also it worked out really great, was Satoru's Shinobi. So this is going to be our deck for today. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's jump into it and show you again this deck as a whole. This, of course, is going to take a little bit longer than most of our other decks, mostly because, if you haven't seen already, when it comes to playing Brawl, obviously, we have a ton of actual... Oh, wait, hold on one second. Whoops, I just accidentally put away a card right there that I didn't mean to, so discard changes. Okay, so we're going to reset this real quick. So, otherwise, obviously, when we play 60 card decks, and we're playing with cards that you can actually do 4 ofs, that obviously, a deck like that doesn't take too long. Of course, when we're playing a singleton 100 card deck, there's a lot of cards to go through here. So I'm obviously not going to go through every single card because that's going to take us quite a while to go through. But here's basically the gist of the game plan. We're just playing a lot of ninjas. That's mostly just the deck. I know, super exciting to hear, but this is, again, hear me out for a second. We're going to just kind of slowly go through this bit by bit with all the essentials. But again, most of it is just me just conjecture. If you see me play previous deck types where we've done ninjas in the past, this is going to be mostly going to be a little bit more just towards actual repeated stuff. So hang in there for a second. For those of you who are new, this is what we're rocking today. So Satoru the Infiltrator. So this is the whole reason why we're here today. Satoru the Infiltrator, for those of you who are unaware, is a 2-mana 2/3 legendary human ninja rogue. It has menace, and it does say whenever Satoru and or one or more other non-token creatures... Benson? Oh, hey Benson, how you doing today? Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We're just going to get started right now. We're actually going over the deck type right now, so you picked a perfect time to actually join us here. But any case, so real quick, for those of you that are also watching this on replay, as it says, so whenever Satoru the Infiltrator and or one or more non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, you get to draw a card. So this is actually a really sweet card. I actually really love what this ninja is doing. Most so that I actually might actually do this for an actual paper deck in the future, but I'll let you know about that in the future. But in any case, Satoru here is a great little card draw engine for what we're trying to do. Once we get this creature on the battlefield, all we just have to do is just keep casting our ninjas. We start using our special ability, which is ninjutsu, and then we just basically snowball into a bunch of hilarious card draw and get a ton of actual protection in counter spells, tempo plays, and that's how we're going to get our win today. So if you're not seeing already, there are going to be some creatures that are not ninjas, but they do a great job of being evasive. So again, I'm not going to go over every single card, but we'll of course talk about some of our key ninja pieces that are going to help us out here. For those of you who are also a little bit new to this or haven't actually played around with ninjutsu ability, the whole idea with ninjutsu is, as you can see here from Thousand Face Shadow, for those of you, again, who are a little bit newer to this, ninjutsu is basically an ability where if an unblocked attacker we control is swinging, and you don't have, and again, if your opponent's not blocking anything you're swinging with, you basically can activate ninjutsu. You bounce that creature that's attacking back to your hand and then put in whatever you're using the ability with. So as an example, for those of you who are just trying to understand what I'm saying, sorry, I'm a little jumbled right here, but the point I'm trying to make is, say Satoru swings, we then use ninjutsu, for example, with Thousand Face Shadow, play it for that 3 mana, it comes in, bounces Satoru back to our hand, and then we still get to do the damage and do our thing. So all we're just trying to do is get a ton of value that way. But in order for us to make sure this still works, because it is very mana intensive with what we're swinging with, we need to make sure that we protect everything we have. So thankfully for us though, we definitely have a lot of ways of protecting ourselves with some counter spells like Spell Pierce. You have of course cards like Censor here, you have Lofty Denial, Negates. You kind of get the idea here. We loaded our deck with a ton of counter spells, just again to protect ourselves as we do our swings, but also we have a lot of, since we're in black, removal. So we have cards, of course, like Fatal Push, which trigger very easily with the Revolt ability, because obviously with ninjutsu, a permanent will bounce back to our hand and make sure that the Revolt gets the max amount of value. If we do have to do some trades, we also have some cool cards like You Are Already Dead, because again, it's flavor, so why not? We threw that in there because it's super cool. If we have to have moments where we're going to be put into awkward situations here, we can also use cards like Village Rise to sacrifice a creature, maybe draw some cards with that. We also, of course, are going to utilize cards that maybe can also bring back stuff if we need to kind of make sure that we can still keep the tempo playing going. One of the biggest advantages, of course, with a deck like this is, since we're very tempo happy, we tend to evade a lot of our opponent's shenanigans. However, that also is one of the major deck weaknesses to this deck. If we can't do our ninjutsu ability, the deck kind of spins its wheels a bit and we're a little bit awkward. However, we're going to hopefully not worry about that too much today, because again, one of the best advantages of this deck is how awesome it is once you begin snowballing. Also, keep in mind that this is actually designed, of course, as a budget deck like all of our other decks out there. So that's also one of the cool things. I believe when I put this together, I haven't bothered to take the time to count all of them, but I think this deck is only 10 rares total. Well, 10 rares and a couple of mythics, but you get the idea here. Super cheap, and I think actually in paper, the deck is actually only about $45 to put together. So actually, if you are interested in putting this together in paper, you have plenty. This is actually really super cheap for you to pull off, and it is really sweet to do. Main of the reason, of course, it's going to be cheap is, of course, we had to skimp a bit on the mana base, but even so, it actually does pretty well. So really quick over the mana base, I'll just talk about. So we, of course, have Infinite Rivulet. We have some islands, of course, swamps, a hidden necropolis, Bajuka Bog for some graveyard shenanigans. And, of course, most of it, yes, it's going to be a lot of tap duels, but hey, again, that's what we're going to have to work with here when it comes to a budget deck. But, of course, you have your essential staples like Command Tower. You have some Evolving Wilds, Field of Ruins, Maestro's Theater, Obscure Storefront, Pit of Offerings for a little more graveyard hate, Terramorphic Expanse, Reliquary Tower. Obviously, this is going to be a really key card you need because we're going to be drawing a lot of cards with this deck, so we obviously don't want to discard to hand size. But otherwise, pretty much everything else is mostly what you have seen before from Ninja decks. But of course, I can ramble on and on about this, and I don't want to do that too much because we are here, of course, to do one thing and one thing essentially. We're here to have some fun today. So without further ado, can our Satoru the Infiltrator and its Shinobi army lead us to victory with a bunch of tempo plays? Well, you're about to find out, everybody. So enough of me again rambling. Let's go ahead, let's play some matches and see how well this deck does. So while we're loading it up, just again, I know recently we've been seeing on the Magic website quite a few official cards popping up from Modern Horizons 3, so let me know how you are all feeling about Modern Horizons 3. That's definitely something that I know a lot of you have been probably, if you're like me, you've probably been seeing the leaks, so I do want to get your opinion on this stuff. What are you interested in when it comes to Modern Horizons 3? Granted, because of that, we are going to take a little break, of course, from doing any of the historic and timeless deck types out there, because I'm waiting, of course, for the full set to come out, and then we're going to get brewing, of course, for a lot on timeless decks coming up for the future of the channel. But of course, also, I'm going to let you know right now that we do have, of course, some decks that we're going to be putting, of course, deck types out there, at least leading up to that. But once we get into spoiler season for Modern Horizons 3, I'm definitely going to start looking at doing some timeless decks for the early part of the summer, because there's going to be so many options for us to play with once we get to that point. But in any case, enough of me rambling right now. We're about to start playing, so here's our hand right now. So we do have Censor as a counterspell. We have Arcane Signet for some ramp, which is great for us. Reliquary Tower is awesome in our hand right now. We have Throat Seeker here and Okiba's Gang Shinobi, so a little more expensive on some of our ninjas here, but we're still going to walk it. Whew, okay. With that, we're going to start. How do we do this here? So we don't have anything really for the early game here, but we'll be able to put down our tap lands, and then hopefully we can get Satoru out, And then hopefully from there, we'll just start snowballing to overwhelm our opponents. So with that, what exactly is our opponent trying to do here? What are they playing? Oh, they're playing Jolene, Plundering Pugilist. Okay. So that probably means they're going to be a stompy deck. So we're going to have to outrace them at this point. We'll put Dismal Backwater down, gain some life, and our opponent's turn coming up. What do you got, opponent? What are you playing? I'm going to assume they're probably going to do some ramping in the early part of the game in order to get their bigger creatures out, especially if they're playing a card right here where they're trying to do some damage with Jolene here. But actually, I haven't seen too many people play her, so I'm not sure how well she does. But I guess we'll find out in a little bit how that works. In any case, so yeah, let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts right now on what you're thinking about for this week when it comes to playing Magic. Are you all interested again in the upcoming set, or maybe some of you are interested in Bloomburrow? I would love to hear your thoughts on Bloomburrow. There's also quite a few cards from that look really cool for me. Again, I'm not too big on the set initially versus Thunder Junction, but again, I'm sure there's going to be some cool stuff in there. Hopefully, again, we'll get some support from creatures and creature cards that normally don't usually get a lot of support. But in any case, okay, our opponent swung at us with a Branch Rider, so we're down to 25. We'll put down Reliquary Tower for now, and I think we'll just ramp. We just need to make sure we have enough to protect Satoru once he comes down. So we'll pass the turn here. Okay, opponent, what do you got? What are you trying to do here? So you got into the mountain. And okay. You're playing, okay, they're playing Impact Tremors. Okay, well, we can't do anything about that now, but that does mean that they're going to start going wide. Very wide, actually. We'll see if that actually helps them out. Down to 24. All right, so with that, Moon Circuit Hacker, not too bad. We'll ping our opponent for 1. Down to 24. So with this, what do we put down first here? Okay. I think we'll put down Throat Seeper, since it doesn't have ninjutsu, so at the very least we have a decent blocker. I don't know if our opponent has removal yet, but they're only putting down mountains. So we'll see if they have anything. Antagonize. Okay. Well, they're definitely getting some pump on. Okay. Obviously not blocking that. We're down to 19. Alright, we got a swamp, which is great. So with that... Alright, well, we came here to do, of course, ninja shenanigans, so Satoru's coming down now. Throat Seeker's swinging. Obviously, our opponent doesn't have anything real quick, so we can do our ninjutsu shenanigans. Doing our best Naruto impression here, everybody. Alright, so we get the draw card, which is nice. We will then do some damage here, down to 22. Okay, well... That's actually a pretty good hit right there. Okay, so I think we'll do it like this. Draw a card and pass the turn. Okay, well, good news is Satoru came down basically without any worry right now. We do have a Censor if we need to in a pinch, assuming our opponent tries to do anything with all their mana. But if they don't get rid of Satoru, we're going to be able to snowball very quickly here if our opponent does not have a response. Okay. So they're pumping up their Viashino. They're probably going to swing here. Obviously, we're not going to do any blocking, so we're just going to let the damage go through. We go down to 16. So with that, we will opt. Getting that Ornithopter in hand. And pass the turn. Okay, so Mistfault Bridge. It's tapped, but this is fine. Ornithopter coming in for free. Oh, I forgot. That does help us draw a card, so that was actually pretty sweet. All right, so... Here come the ninjas, everybody. Shifting us away. Bouncing stuff. More card draw. Oh my goodness, this deck is super sweet. Okay. Down to 18. Drawing some cards. There we go. See, this is exactly why the deck is really awesome. So, thankfully, our Reliquary Tower means that we don't have to toss away any cards here, which is great. So, we're just going to pass the turn. And, okay, opponent, well, you're going to lose very quickly here if you don't have an answer. Jolene coming down. I'll let that resolve. We get pinged for 1. Do you have an answer, opponent? Okay, they do a swing. Okay. This is fine. We're down to 14, but we are going to close the gap here very quickly. So, our turn. Another swamp, which is great. Okay, so we've got a ton of options here. So let's go ahead. We're going to do some swinging here. We'll swing with Satoru since he has Menace. Ornithopter going in for free damage here. Alright. Alright, so here we go. We're going to keep doing our ninja shenanigans. Bouncing back Ornithopter. Draw another card. Oh my goodness, I love this deck so much. Down to 14, and look at that. You're drawing so many cards with this deck. Okay, so with that, we will do it this way. Do some scrying, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. Wow, this deck is just full of value. Ornithopter for free, draw another card. Bajuka Bog is here. We will chart a course, draw more cards, and oh my god, we already have like 14 cards in hand. This is just ridiculous, but this is actually exactly what you want the deck to do. So we're going to hold off here. All right, opponent. Well, you're definitely going to get overrun here with ninjas if you're not careful here. We have so much mana now, so we're definitely in a great spot. This is exactly what you want this deck to do. This is why I really love what this deck is pulling off here. So if you haven't already done so already, I will definitely, of course, put up later on once this video goes live. Or actually, I should say, once this video is on a replay, I'll add up in the details if you're watching this on YouTube. I'll put a link, of course, so if you do want to try this deck out in Arena, you'll definitely have an awesome option for that. And speaking of options here, we don't want that Goldspan Dragon resolving. So Disruption Protocol, we will tap. All right. Too bad, opponent. That is going to get denied. Okay, so do you have another answer, opponent? You've tapped out already, so are you going to swing? Wow. Okay, wow, they're desperate. All right, well, no blocks. We don't have anything to protect ourselves from it, but that's fine. We're so far ahead right now because we have a lot of value on the field. Honestly, I don't really see our opponent winning this one unless we get a little too reckless here. But they only have one treasure open, so what do you got, opponent? Do you have an answer? Thirsting Roots. Okay. Well, that's fine. That I'm not worried about. They could have that. So, in any case, right, they get land. They put down a forest, I'm guessing. Yep. Okay. All right, so Wash Away is going to be good for later if we need that. In the meantime, we'll just put down an island because we just want untapped sources. And from here, free swinging, everybody. Okay. We're going to get a ton of value right now. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Okay, so Izumi Prowler. Bouncing back Ornithopter. Get some value. We will put that onto the Prowler to get some life. Draw a card. We will... How do we do this here? Okay, so with that, we will play Nashi's Moon Sage. Ninjutsu. Bouncing back the Circuit Hacker. Draw some more cards. Oh my goodness, this deck... This deck is just too good. Dow. Oh, wow. Woo! There we go here. That's what you're talking about. Okay, so draw a card. Draw another card. Draw another card. Draw another card. Draw another card. Wow. I actually think I might actually put this together in paper, everybody. I'm actually having a lot of fun right now. So with that, we have tons of options here. So Ornithopter coming down for free again. More card draw. We stole from our opponent a forest. Not that we need that, but that's totally cool. Down to 12. So we're actually at 12. Our opponent is at 4, so I have no idea how they're going to beat us here. They got 4 cards in hand, and we've got... Oh my God, I'm sorry. We got 19 cards in hand. This is just ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous for us, but... Throw from the saddle. Okay, well, I mean, you can do that if you want, opponent. So, do we want that dealt with here? Okay. I guess that's fine. I guess we can afford to let that die. So, that's totally cool. I'm just waiting to see if our opponent has another option here. They still have 3 cards in hand. If they have a pump spell, then that's why we're going to need the actual counter spell. Oh, wow. Okay, Infectious Bite. Okay, so with that, I think we're going to have to counterspell that. Okay, so they have 2 more cards, but they have 2 mountains open, so I don't think they have any more pump. At least I don't think they do. But I could be wrong, because I've been wrong before. So, opponent goes swinging. And they go swinging. All right, opponent. I don't think they still have any way of actually pumping beyond this, unless they have like a spell that doubles the power of Jolene. But I don't think that's still enough. If we really have to in a pinch, if we absolutely have to, you can use Ornithopter here for protection. Down to 11. Okay. All right, well, that's all you can do, opponent. We're down to 6, but that's fine because here we go, everybody. This is it. We just won. So you know what? I don't even care. We're just going to put this down as is, just for value. Get all the pump. Go swinging here. We're just going to beat down our opponent down to 6 here. So there you go, everybody. Wow. That's why I love this deck, everybody. So that was it. Satoru Shinobi, just overwhelming your opponent. You snowball with the card here, and you get so much card draw. And with Reliquary Tower out, look at all that we had right here. That was awesome. That's exactly what you want this deck to do. All right. We're off to a strong start here, everybody. Woo! Okay. I felt good about that one. So we get our prize here. Invasion of Pylela. But we'll actually claim here our actual rare. So what did we get? Oh, well, we got some gems, but that's totally cool. Getting gems also is great for us because that'll go towards future stuff that we're going to have to buy. So with that, let's go ahead and let's continue the good times, everybody. So I'm feeling really good about this deck right now. I'm really loving what it's trying to do. So again, for those of you who are watching this later on, don't worry. We will still put up in the future the deck list for you. So you'll be able to check that out in the comments below once this goes up on YouTube. But in other case, let's see what we're trying to pull off here. So we don't have an actual ninja to pull off our shenanigans just yet, but we do have an Ornithopter. So that technically does mean we can get some free stuff if Satoru actually resolves. But otherwise, we have Throat Seeker too. I don't know. Do we keep this or should we just get the free mulligan? I'm tempted to keep this, but I don't know. Well, maybe we should at least try to mulligan once to see if we can get something better. Okay. All right, well, we got the Throat Seeker back. We have a counterspell now. We have some card draw. So, again, maybe I should have kept that other hand. I don't know. I don't know what was better for us. In any case, we'll just keep this. Again, should be fine. We do have a lot of options in just drawing stuff out, so it's not like it's the worst. Okay, so with that, what is our opponent playing today? They're playing Roxanne, Starfall Savant. Okay, I've seen people play this Cat Druid. I'm actually honestly interested in the card myself, but I don't know how to build around it just yet. So I need more time on this card to marinate before we consider that. But otherwise, we'll play Hidden Necropolis, tapped. And from that, we'll then slowly start building up our mana, like always. And then we'll have Satoru hopefully coming down maybe by turn 3 or 4, depending on if we get a counterspell. Okay, opponent's got a Field of Ruin, Prosperous Innkeeper. All right, well, that means we're going to get some life gain shenanigans here. But that's totally fine, everybody. This is fine. Island. And we will... Do we do it now? Satoru right now would be tempting. So, well, I'm going to get a little frisky here. We're going to just throw it out there now. They have 3 mana open. Technically, they could have 4, but it's still not enough to get Roxanne out just yet. So, what do you got, opponent? You got 5 cards in hand. So I'm trying to see. Do they have removal? Are they just building something bigger? Oh, okay. Doing some land destruction. Interesting choice, but okay. That is a choice. They can do it if they want to. So with that, we'll just get a swamp. A little bit even now on our lands. So with that, nothing opponent? Alright, well, I mean, that's also fine. So we'll put an island down. We will swing. A little damage. A little awkward, because this is where you can see where the deck can get a little weird, in the sense that if we don't have an actual ninja to do ninjutsu stuff, then our deck kind of just is a little slow on the draw. Cabaret Courtyard sacrificed by our opponents, so they're going to get a land. Lothus. Okay. Well, we can't afford to let that go, so we need to counterspell that now. And thankfully, that means it gets exiled, so we're not going to see that for the entire game, which is great for us. I'm going to go swing down to 24 too. All right, we'll put down another swamp. And, okay, well, we're still spinning our wheels a little bit here, so I'm just going to put down Throat Seeker now. So we will swing. It does, thankfully, for its ability, we get lifelink, so that'll stabilize us and keep our life total high. But we are now vulnerable, so hopefully I didn't mess this up here. But I guess we'll find out in a bit. In any case, how are y'all feeling about the deck so far? I know we just had one match, everybody, so y'all liking, again, how this deck works? Let me know in the comments below. Are you interested in this kind of deck? I would love to hear from you guys. Opponent took a turn off to get Panharmonicon, so that's an interesting option. We'll consider. Okay, so we finally got at least one ninja that's going to help us in Snowball. Behold the Multiverse. That can be helpful for the future. So, how do we do this? I think We'll foretell that. And we will swing here. Do you block, opponents? They do. So with that, we will ninjutsu out Satoru for a moment. Back to our hand. And with that, give that indestructible. Not that it needs it, but at least it gets it off the field. If our opponent gets a little too nutty with artifacts, we do have a filter out, which is great. This is, I know, another card I didn't necessarily mention, but it will be very helpful with our game plan. All right. Well, here come the meteorites, which are going to be really awkward, but we can deal with those. Okay. Well, another meteorite that's going to hit us. I do like what our opponent is trying to do here, so this is kind of cute in its own way. That might be a problem for us soon, so I think we're going to have to bounce out the Panharmonicon. But before we do, we need to opt. All right, we'll get another land. Always make sure to hit your land drops, everybody. Always make sure. So with that, island, we will play Satoru. And how do we do this here? Okay. We'll go swinging with our Smoke Shaper. Do you block, opponents? Probably not. So with that, down to 16. Okay, so do we do this now? I think we're going to put the filter out now. So this, again, will bounce away all their artifacts, and that gets rid of the treasure, too, which is great. Okay, so that slows them down. That's what we need to do. We need to make sure that we can keep slowing down their options here. We cannot afford to have that Panharmonicon start making their meteorites do a lot of damage. But, not going to lie, I'm going to steal this option in the future. So I should make a mental note of this myself to use Panharmonicon with Roxanne. That's actually kind of a cool combo. I actually like that. Kudos to you, opponent. I do like that. I'm going to steal that later. But in any case, going back to the match here. Okay, opponent has plenty of mana open. Okay, well, Satoru gets eliminated, but that's okay. That's fine, everybody. We will put him back into the command zone. At least one of the good things about Satoru also is he's cheap. So we can definitely cast him later on in the match. Okay, opponent is definitely getting the ramp on. I'm going to make some more meteorites. But thankfully now we don't lose now our Azra Smoke Shaper from what they're doing. Okay, so how do we do this here? We're a little awkward because we don't have our ninjas at this time. But this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier was this is why we will... The deck can have its awkward moments because if you don't have a way of bouncing stuff out and doing your tempo plays, your deck kind of gets a little slow. But otherwise, hopefully we'll have... Oh dear. This is going to be a scary creature to deal with. Anzrak, Quake Mole. Okay. I haven't seen many people play this yet, so we're about to see. Am I going to get wrecked by this thing right now? All right, well, only one way to find out. But in any case, so our opponent does not have enough mana, thankfully, for Panharmonicon, so we at least get to avoid that for a while before it steamrolls us. In any case, opponents, unexpected windfall. All right. I kind of want our opponent to swing, but we're going to see if they do. They made 2 treasures. All right. Pass. They do go swinging. All right. They're probably going to hit Satoru here. No, they go to face. All right. I'm going to block here. Let's see if our opponent has an answer. All right, well, this is definitely a risky play here, but I want to see if our opponent does anything. So we both lose our commanders, so they both go back to the command zone. However, ours... Oh, wait. Did I just mess that up right now? Wow. I am dumb, everybody. Okay, I'm going to get yelled at for that one. I realize I should have declined going back to the command zone. I didn't know that triggered off first, so I think I just messed that up. That should have gone back to the battlefield tapped. But okay, it's fine. We can still bounce back. It's fine, everybody. Okay. Swamp. And I still can't believe I did that to myself. Okay, no attacks. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. If we lose, I mean, that's totally fine if we do lose. We still got plenty of time in this stream to bounce back and try to do the rest of this event. But until then, I think our opponent might be getting ahead of us here. So we're gonna have to be a little concerned about what we're gonna do. But we'll see. Can we get around this? That Quake Bowl is a massively powerful and scary creature, but we'll see if we can avoid this. So in other words, we'll do Devious Cover Up, and we'll bring back into our deck 1, 2, 3, and 4. So exile that. Filter these back into our deck. Are you going to attack, opponent? You definitely have the advantage. But the good news at this point is Roxanne's so expensive that we might have been able to price her out of the match. Ouch. That hurt. So, Behold the Multiverse. Come on, deck. Okay, we don't need more lands. We need action. We definitely need actual removal ASAP. Okay, Maestro's Theater. Not quite what we wanted just yet. It's fine. Alright. Sack it immediately. Get back. Get an island. Gain some life. Oh, jeez. Do we cast it for this much? That's so expensive. Okay. Down to 11. Alright, well, we're running out of options here. I'm a little concerned we're going to lose this match, but it's fine. Take some more damage here, down to 3. Okay. We have a turn at best to turn this around. If we can get, maybe if we can get some removal, we might be able to stop it. If we had a Fatal Push, that actually will give us a shot here. But we're about to see. Can we pull off a victory here? Or at least survive. So while our opponent's thinking about that, another question I want to ask of you. Okay, so Roxanne does come back, but we can counterspell her again. So she goes back. But again, what are your thoughts right now on any of the league cards, if you want to talk about them? I am curious. I think we'll just cycle this, to be honest. Okay, we got a negate. Ooh, okay. So Call the Death Dweller is not the worst. So here's how we do this. Call the Death Dweller, bring back Throat Seeker. Put 2 tokens on it. No attacks. And we pass. Okay. So again, the question I want to ask is, are there any other cards that... I guess I shouldn't talk about the league cards per se. I would like to ask those of you who are interested in what we officially have. Is there a card out there that you saw from Modern Horizons 3 spoilers currently that you would like to play, or at least see be made into a deck in the future? We definitely... I'm not going to lie. There's definitely a lot of cool, colorless spells that we're going to be getting very soon. Eldrazi is definitely going to make a comeback. But is there something you want to see us play? Oh, well. Our opponent just hit us there with a Crackle of Power. That stunk, but oh well. It is what it is, everybody. We weren't going to, of course, win. At least I didn't think I were. But, hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead. We're just going to continue on to the next match. So with that, okay, well, we got a pack. And we did at least get one cool little alt style. So I'll take those. We'll do some of our dailies. We'll go ahead and continue. And we're going to jump into the next one. So what exactly are all of your thoughts again, for those of you, if you haven't, or if at least for those of you who are watching the replay, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on some of the upcoming stuff from the Modern Horizons 3 set? Is there anything that you are interested in, or anything you would hope to see is going to be coming out in the future? Let me know, and I would love to hear from all of you. But until then, okay, so we've got our Reliquary Tower, which is great for us. We have Dissipate for a counterspell, Ornithopter for free, Kotose, Silent Spider. She's expensive, but we can definitely use her later on, and a Venomous Changeling, which technically counts as a ninja. So I think we'll keep this. Again, it's slow, but we can definitely work with what we got. Okay, our opponent is playing Honest Rustine. That's kind of cute. Okay. In any case, we will play our Reliquary Tower to get ourselves started. And, oh, I realized actually I should have put down a regular land. I don't know why I did that. Once again, I misplay. But it's okay, everybody. It's still early. We can make it work. Poet's Quill. Oh, okay. Opponent is going to be playing a lot of artifacts with Honest Rustine. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually is in their favor. We'll play a Swamp. And we pass. It's tempting to put down the Ornithopter, but we don't have any ninjas right now we can use ninjutsu with, so we're gonna wait on Ornithopter here. Hunted Nightmare. So we got a sensor. We'll see if that helps us out in a bit. Satoru can come down now. Ornithopter. Get a card for free. So that's cool. And then we will pass here. So with that, all right, opponent, this is your chance right here. If you can somehow stop Satoru now, that will slow us down. However, if they can't, then we can still snowball our way out of this. All right. Well, they're definitely going to try to build up their stuff here. We're down to 20, and they go up to 30. Okay, so with that, we will play the Rivulets. And how do we do this here? Okay. Go swinging. Down to 28. We pass. I guess I could have put down the Venomous Changeling here, but we're going to hold off on that for just a smidge. Ooh, Roaming Throne. Well, we can't afford to have that. So we'll counterspell that now. And at least for that, that'll be knocked away. So that's going to be exiled for the rest of the game. So thankfully we don't have to worry about that. They only have 1 mana open, so they're just going to swing, I'm guessing. Yep. Okay. Down to 14. Ooh, Prosperous Thief. That's actually pretty sweet for us. So, Swamp. We'll put down... Okay, we can ninjutsu this for 2. Okay. So with that, Venomous Changeling. This will be a great option for us now. So thankfully, what we can do is we'll swing with Ornithopter. And, all right, everybody, here we go. This is what we came here for. Bouncing away. All right, so our ninjutsu ability does its thing. Draw a card. Opponents. Oh, they did have an answer. That stunk. Okay, well, that's fine. We still got the trigger off at least. So, we can still cast that for free. We can still draw a card. Okay, well, again, a little awkward there with the removal, but that's totally fine, everybody. We still have time. It's not too late. Alyssa. All right. That's a little scary. That's fine. We're not worried too much about that still. So with that, how do we do this? Okay, so I think we're going to have to just do our chump blocks now. But at the very least, that will get rid of finally this threat. So Death Touch gets rid of it. They're up to 43. That's a lot of life, by the way. Okay, but Swamp. How do we do this here? Okay, so we can... Okay. Silent Spider coming down. What do we get rid of here? Okay, so how do we do this here? Silent Spider, okay. Okay. This doesn't help us too much with what we're trying to do here. So, what we at the very least can do is we'll get that tail swipe. Okay. And then, okay. Alright, so Galissa is coming down, which is a little scary, but that's fine, everybody. We got time. Down to 41. We got a little ways to go before we can actually beat them, but that's totally okay. We got time. We just need to find a way to get rid of these Galissas, because they're going to be a problem for us if we're not careful. And they do have a decent amount of mana. Okay. Alright, well... Galissa Sunslayer coming down. So, how do we do this here? How do we get out of this? That's the only thing that's scary. I think we're probably going to have to do this now. We fight it. We do lose the creature, but we get rid of their Galissa. At least one of them. So, we only have to worry about one creature. We're down to 10. Okay. Well, that actually might be helpful for us. So, put down this for its full cost, which is a little awkward, but that's fine, everybody. Exile their graveyard. Not that many cards, but it totally will work. Go swinging here. Down to 43. So all we have to do here is we just need to survive the hit versus this Galissa, and we should be able to stabilize after that, right? That should be enough for us, right? Okay. All right. More equipment is coming down. But is it enough for our opponent here? So they have Death Touch, Lifelink here. They also have Wand of Orcus. Okay. So Do they give... Okay. Wow. That's scary. Oh boy. Is that going to beat us here? Well, this is all we can do. Get a little pump here. Down to 2. Go back up to 6. We bring it back to the battlefield, draw a card. Alright, well... Cycle. Okay. We got a swamp. Not enough, unfortunately. Okay. Well, nothing we can do here. The only hope we have right now is we just got to find a way to just survive this next swing here. I honestly don't know if we can. Alright. So. Opponent. Basilisk Caller. Bounce that away. Okay, well, we're not dead yet, but I think this is mostly it, everybody. I don't think we're going to win this one here. So, we will block and block. Again, not dead, but we're pretty much there, everybody. I don't know if we can get out of this. So, with that... Well, okay, so we'll get the sensor and return to action. That's really all we need, but I don't think we're gonna get through this. Lifelink. Nothing. Pass. All right, opponents. At this point, you can basically just do what you need to. I don't think we're gonna win this one, everybody. That's totally fine. That's fine. It's fine. I ain't mad. Okay, Glissa does their shenanigans. Okay. Just do your swing, opponents. That's fine. I'm not mad. Okay. Obviously, we're not gonna survive here, but it's fine. I'll just let their opponents just do their thing. Go down to -1, and we lose. That's fine. We're just gonna jump on to the next match, everybody. We're still, of course, doing our midweek magic stuff, so let's at least just move forward, and hopefully, maybe next match, we will be able to do our ninja shenanigans again. We at least saw in our first game that we definitely were able to pull off the win there. We just need to hopefully have a better hand here, and here's hoping that that'll work out, at least with this match. So, let's see. What do we got? Okay. Well, we definitely have some ninja now that can help us out here. So it's going to take a little time, but I think this should be able to work, right? Right? I think we'll keep this hand. It's a little light on mana here, but we should be able to build what we need. Pass the turn. All right, so what do you got, opponents? What are we playing? Okay, Gem Lightfoot here. I haven't seen anybody play this card, so I don't know what I'm getting into with this one. Okay, it's just going to be a lot of draw go, I'm assuming. So, crack the Evolving Wilds. And let's get an island. All right, opponents. Swamp. So with that, Satoru, well, I don't think they're going to have any early removal just yet, so we might as well just start getting aggressive here and just start snowballing against our opponent. Dusk Legion Duelist. Totally fine. Island. Let's put down... You know what? Let's do it. Dual Satorus, everybody. Down to 23. So, Satoru number 1 here, and then number 2. Yeah, that's a thing. What do you got, opponents? What are you looking at here? While our opponent is, again, trying to figure things out here, other question I want to ask, if you want to leave this in the comments below, is what future Brawl decks do you want to see? I know that's not exactly the most popular thing on my channel, but I am interested in doing more Brawl decks. It's just a matter of what are you all interested in checking out? I would love to hear your comments below from this stuff. Okay, so what are you blocking, opponents? You got to block something, I'm guessing. And that's, of course, hopefully should trigger off one of our abilities here. Oh, they didn't block anything here. All right, so with that. So, well, we're going to do our little ninjutsu shenanigans. So, one Satoru out. And, come on. There we go. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. Now we're cooking. Okay. Come on, opponents. Let me do my swing. Maybe. Okay, we get to draw a card. And we do some damage. Down to 19. Okay, so we could discard a card if we want to then destroy something. But do we want to? And if so, what are we discarding? I think we'll discard the Moon Specialist. So we take care of the Dutch Legion Duelist and get that off the field. Oh, Aven Interrupter. Okay. But that doesn't really do anything against our opponent there. Because you got to remember that if Aven Interrupter enters the battlefield, they have to exile a target spell and it becomes plotted. But that didn't really work there for us. Okay, so with that. Spell Pierce the Makeshift Binding. So that's off the field. Okay, so as you can see right here again, that's how we're trying to pull off with the deck here. We're just trying to do our shenanigans. And so far so good. It is working. So, what do you got, opponent? Okay, so we will play Mist Saga Naka. And we'll put that back to our hand. We create another token. That's super awesome for us. That's great. Wait, hold on one second. We got another little thing here. Okay, so sorry everybody. Hold on one second here. We're getting a little bit of a weird spam message here. Sorry. Not interested. Do appreciate you trying to reach out, but give me one second here, everybody, while I try to figure this out. So Satoru coming down. We will swing here. Down to 10. And here come the tokens, everybody. Whew, okay, we're doing great right now. So with that. Take Vengeance. Okay, well, we're actually going to let that die. That's fine. We do have plenty of tokens here, so we should be able to beat our opponent there. Okay, and there you go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough, so there you go. Not super flashy there, but we did manage to pull off our win, so that was great. That's what you want the deck to do. That was beautiful. All right, so with that, we managed to, of course, get our second win, which is great. We'll claim our prize. What did we get? So we got... Okay, we got a Concealed Courtyard. That's totally cool. Hey, free rare lands. I'll definitely take those any day, so that's great. That's one less wild card I have to spend. All right, so we're going to go to number 3. So, can we get our third win? And if so, after this, I think for the second half of the stream, I am really liking this deck, and I kind of want to play it a little bit more in regular Brawl to see how well it does. But okay, here we go, everybody. How well can our Shinobi overrun our opponent here, led by Satoru? So we definitely have some ramp, which is great for us. And we do have some solid ninjas here, so we're going to keep this hand. We'll just go from there. So with that, we will play Swamp first. So game plan is simple. All we just do is do our little early ramp with our cards, start getting down our ninja, and just hopefully we'll be able to snowball against our opponent there. Ooh, okay. This is a great one right here. I love this card right here. It will give one of our creatures hexproof, so protection for later. That'll be a surprise tool for later on in the game. Okay, our opponent here is trying to get their... Okay, they got their bear. So let's see. Hold on one second. What does this card do again? Spells you cast from graveyard or exile cost 2 less to cast. Plotting card. Okay. So they're just trying to just cheapen the cost of some of their stuff here. We'll see if that actually is something that they can pull off. We'll put down Throat Seeker. And I know this is awkward, but we're going to have to put down that Bajuka Bog because I don't want to miss a land drop. We didn't, unfortunately, get any value out of that, but that's totally fine, everybody. All right, Treatment Cascade. What do you got, opponents? What are you trying to play? Wow, they actually destroyed our mana rock. Totally not cool. One thing I forgot to mention when I put this deck together is, if you didn't see it from the original little deck we had, we actually don't have that many. We're just going to let that do some damage, down to 20. We didn't put into the deck that many actual mana rocks, mostly just because I wanted to see, for the tempo deck, you mostly don't want to have to do that too often. It's mostly just going to come down to what you prefer, or at least generally. What do we do here? Okay. I think we'll put down Silver for Master. Pumping that. Down to 21. Go back up to 24. Okay. So anyway, I was trying to say, I didn't want to put down mana rocks in this deck because mostly, I think a deck like this does a lot better without mana rocks. You mostly just want to do cards that just do your tempo plays. You don't want to take too many turns off just trying to ramp. You just want to try to out-tempo your opponent before they can do their thing. In any case, okay, so Satoru can come down next turn, and we should be good from there to then do our thing. Down to 22. Come on, opponent. Nothing? Okay, well, it's fine, I guess. Satoru finally coming down. Do you have an answer, opponents? Oh, they do have an answer. Well, that's really awkward for us. We'll put that back to the command zone. So, how do we do this here? How do we do this? Okay. No attacks yet. This is unfortunately where the deck will get a little awkward. If you don't have a way of, as I mentioned earlier, getting stuff in and just snowballing, then the deck will kind of be a little goofy at times. But it's not the worst. You still have plenty of low to the ground stuff where you should be able to swing and get through some damage. No block still. We're down to 19. Chart, of course, is not too shabby for later. So, how do we do this here? I guess we can bring back Satoru now, since we're not going to worry too much about taking hits here. We go back to 23. They're down to 17. So, okay. As long as they don't have any more shenanigans here, we should be okay. Hopefully. All right, opponent, what do you got? Monster manual. Okay, so let's see. What do we do? What do we do here? I think we'll put down Venomous Changeling. This at least should guarantee us something in the future, because with the Changeling down, that's a Death Touch creature, so they're obviously not going to start swinging directly at that. So we're not going to attack yet. We do need more mana, though. We are a little pinched right now, but so is our opponent, so we'll just see. Whoever breaks out first, it'll depend on where this match goes. All right, opponents, what do you got? You've got 2 mana open, so we'll see. What are they trying to pull off here? They can also pull off some wacky stuff with that monster manual, so I'm a little scared about that. But we'll see. Hopefully it shouldn't hurt us too much. Opponent's still thinking. All right. What do they put down? Oh, dear. Of course, it's going to be something scary here, but that's totally cool. I think we can still swing with our Venomous Changeling, and we should be okay. Put down a tap land, and swing with Venomous Changeling. Does our opponent block with any creature? They do. Oh, they block with 2 creatures. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so do some damage to each one. We do lose our Scorpion there, or Changeling, if you will, but at least we got some damage in. We're going to play Chart, of course. Draw some cards. And, all right, we'll pass the turn. Well, again, it's a little clunky, but we are still slowly building our way out of this hole. That Lock Whale is going to be scary, but our opponent, of course, if I know them, they're definitely going to get greedy and they're going to swing here. We still have plenty of life. So obviously this should mean we should be able to start doing our shenanigans just a little bit. And hopefully it should be enough. Okay, so with that, Evolving Wilds. And, okay, how do we do this here? Okay. I think all we just need to do is we'll just go swinging with our 2 creatures. Does our opponent have an answer? Fading Hope. Okay. So with that, how do we want to do this here? We'll flash. Give that hexproof. Doesn't work. Whew, okay. So we're doing a lot better here. Okay, here we go, everybody. This is actually what you want to do. So with that, what do we get rid of here? Okay, so Ninjutsu now. Bouncing back the Throat Seeker. This will help us draw a card. Now we're doing a lot better here. Okay. So with that, down to 11. What do we throw away, though? I think we'll throw away the Throat Seeker. So with that, we can destroy... Okay, Ward 2. Get rid of their actual commander. Oh my goodness. Yes! Okay, our opponent had enough there. Well, as you saw, we honestly were about to do the ward here, but getting rid of their commander definitely now put us in the better spot. So, yay! That was exactly pretty nice there. We were able to build ourselves out of a little deficit. So I'm feeling good about this. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, well, we're at the halfway point of the stream. As you know, for those of you who've seen my previous streams, I don't stream super long because, you know, I do other things, of course, in life. But the point I'm trying to make here is we're going to do only a small little 2-hour stream for Midweek Magic. We managed to pull off our wins here, so this is really great for us. We got all 3 wins with Satoru Shinobi. Let's go ahead and let's claim what we got. Okay, so a random common with the art style here. So that's kind of cute. Okay, so how are we feeling about the deck overall, everybody? We're, again, halfway through this. And again, it's just one of those decks that even on a budget, it still is doing pretty well for us. So what do you say? I think we can take this definitely into regular Brawl and get some more wins out of it. So that's what I'm feeling like today. We'll just do a whole day of just playing our wonderful Brawl here, Commander. So we'll play Satoru Shinobi in regular. And again, we're definitely just going to have some fun with it. So while we're doing that, though, go ahead again. For those of you who are still watching at this point in the video, whether it's again during the stream itself or if you're watching later on the replay, let me know if you'd leave a comment below. What would you like to see us build in the future? I would love to hear from you guys, like what your suggestions are going to be. We have so many cards still to go through for Thunder Junctions that we definitely, I'll say about this at the very end of the actual stream. We're definitely going to rock a couple of other ideas out there that I haven't fully finished yet, but we're definitely going to keep building on. So hopefully if you guys stick around for that one, we'll definitely show you a little sneak peek about what's to come, at least in the coming couple weeks, at least before we get to Modern Horizons 3, because that's going to be a whole nother set of cards that, oh man, I'm going to be so overwhelmed doing all this stuff, but I'll find a way to make it all work. So thank you again, everyone, for watching and supporting the channel for what we're trying to do. In any case, going back to this, we'll just play our island and we'll pass. So our opponent is playing Xanathar, Guild Kingpin, so I'm expecting some control shenanigans, but that should be fine. We have tempo plays. So that's all we got to do is we just got to get through some of this. Satoru here. Do we want this now? I think we'll draw that. Okay, Throat Seeker again. So Swamp. We'll pass. Okay, so we have a Tainted Indulgence, so this can help us dig through our deck for a little bit here, just to help us get what we need. Hopefully that should help us out here. All right, so with that, we will do Tainted Indulgence. Draw some cards. What do we throw away here, though? I think... What do we throw away? This is the only awkward part here. I think we'll throw away Satoru. I know that seems a little weird, but that's probably our best thing to get rid of right now. Field of Ruin. Okay, and then we will play Venomous Changeling. Unless our opponent has some kind of counterspell. Do you have an answer, opponent? Let me know. Well, they did have a counterspell, like literal counterspell, but that's fine. This is fine, everybody. I'd rather they spend it on that versus our actual commander. Okay, nothing yet for our opponent there. So, with that, let's play Throat Seeker now. Do you have another counterspell, opponent? They don't. Okay, or maybe they might have spot removal. Oh, it's that card. It's the... If you haven't seen this card, everybody, I hate this card so much. I played with it a little bit last week on the Midweek Magic event, but for those of you who haven't seen this, you can see right here, Heist. Heist is a little bit of a controversial mechanic here, but I'll talk about that in a second here. Looks like our opponent is trying to do more ninja shenanigans than we are. But going back to that, real quick, if you haven't seen this, for those of you that are still unaware or don't play Alchemy, I know we don't play Alchemy on this channel, but it's going to be one of those things where you kind of want to at least be aware of this. So Heist basically just says you can look at 3 random non-land cards from an opponent's library. You exile one of them face down. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast a spell. Long story short, it kind of just steals stuff in a really unfun way for me. But that's the reason why I had to bring it up. So with that, let's start doing our thing here. And our opponent, I'm guessing, is not going to try to do any shenanigans, so... Let's see. Well, we can't really bring this in per se, so let's get some damage in. They go down 21 and go up to 28. Do we do this now? Do we have any protection, though? I think we'll do this now. we'll pass. We are technically a little vulnerable right here. Down to 27. What do you do, opponent? Take up? Yep. Draw a card. Put down the snow-covered swamp. Please, no spot removal. If they don't have spot removal, then we're going to be in a really good spot right here. Whew. Okay, wow. Coast should be clear now. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Go here. Okay. Alright, well. This might be awkward to make a copy of this card, but it's fine. Either way, it still works. We're going to keep still the original, because we obviously don't want to bounce that back, but we did do some card draw, so yay, this is great. Okay. Any answer on it? Down to 20. Okay. We get rid of their... We get rid of their Planeswalker, and with that, I guess we pass the turn. Okay. They're very close to getting their... Okay, they got Memory Deluge. They're getting very close to getting out Xanathar, so we got to be careful of that. They dig for some cards. What do you got, opponent? Wait, what does this do again? I haven't seen this card in a while. Okay. Oh, it's from the Lord of the Rings set, so... The beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on the scry 2. Draw a card. Okay. Well, we can't deal with that anyway, but that's something we're going to have to be careful of soon. Maybe if we can get our filter out, we can deal with it. But okay, opponent's got some mana. Do they have ninjutsu cards too? Okay, well, guess they don't want to do anything. Okay, they do their shenanigans. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, everybody. Okay, so... Those cards, okay. I guess I'll just draw a card. I don't want to give our opponent cards, but I have no idea exactly what they're trying to do here. So. Opponent is thinking. Alright. Come on, opponents. Anytime now. Okay. Okay, well, Arcane Signet's not the worst. So, but they're on Pit of Offerings. So, we will exile some cards. At the very least, we get to get rid of their Memory Deluge, so we don't have to worry about that for the rest of the game, which is great. Assuming our opponent is not trying to do anything else here. I don't know what they're waiting on. Okay, there we go. Whew. Okay, so those are exile, which is great for us. Alright, we will put down an Arcane Signet. And now we go swinging. Okay, opponent. They don't have anything, so... Go to 17. We'll play... How do we do this here? Okay, we'll play Future Operative. I think that should be fine. May pass the turn. Okay, so we don't have anything ninjutsu related technically, but what we do have is we do have at least hopefully a way to stop their shenanigans here. But they are kind of a dirty deck, only just because I don't like cards that steal things from my deck. But I mean, looks like that's what our opponent's trying to do here. They get their 6 land out. I'm assuming Xanathar's coming down. Oh. Okay, it's Midnight Clock. Again, I don't like that card either, but our opponent's going to try to do their thing here. So with that, they steal another card from us. We get a Maestro's Theater. Maestro's Theater hits. Okay, opponent, what do you got? You're going to get a land. There you go. They do their swing. Give them another card here? That's the only down part about this deck. What should we do, everybody? Okay, they do their strike. I think, you know what? I'm going to take a chance here. We're going to lose some life. Okay, ouch. Down to 17. But that's okay, everybody. Let us... Actually, hold on. It's a little greedy to do that, so we're just going to keep. Alright. Ooh, okay. Moon Circuit Hacker is great. That'll help us at least do our thing here. Okay, so... Ninjutsuing. Bouncing away 1,000 Face Shadow. Draw a card. Alright. Now we're going to get back into this fight, everybody. Just watch. We're going to get rid of... How do we get rid of it? Okay. Futurist Operative. There we go. Now we're cooking again. Pay copies. Draw a card. Okay. Down to 11. Whew, okay. Much better, everybody. Much better. Okay. So with that... Draw a card. Draw a card. So we will play an island. We will play... Okay. Unfortunately, we're going to have to also discard a hand size, which is awkward for us, but we're going to just keep this as is. So, what do we get rid of here? I think at this point, we might just go with... Okay, hold on. I guess the Dismal Backwater. And, oh, okay, well, yes. I guess our opponent just didn't want to deal with us anymore. Woo, okay, yay. I'm really happy about that one. That was actually not too shabby there. We were kind of falling behind a bit, but we managed to just hold our ground. So, yes, I'm actually enjoying this deck quite a bit. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. Whew. Okay, so we're going to continue on, of course. Getting our wins and dailies. Let's go ahead and let's continue on with some more fun Brawl. So, we're again past the halfway point on the stream itself. How are y'all doing out there, everybody? Hopefully, again, you're all having a good day, whatever you're doing, wherever you're watching this content. Again, for those of you who haven't seen my channel before, give me a second here, sorry. For those of you who haven't seen this content, if you are a fan of budget decks, if you're a fan of arena content where we have a little bit of fun, sometimes on our channel we also do a little bit of silly things like we do some memeing here and there. Once in a while I will do some streams. I don't do them too often though. Best I can do right now is maybe one a week, depending on my schedule and how life goes for me. But if you are interested in the channel, be sure to check me out again. You can see, of course, everything is located below where all of my links are for all my socials. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you follow the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, and so much more. But in any case, we're going to get back to this match here. We're going to see how well Satoru Shinobi handled itself. So with that, play an island to start, and we will pass. So, looks like our opponent is playing Miram Sentinel Worm. So, this is actually a really sweet dragon spirit. It's actually really powerful, though, so something we're going to have to be aware of. And unfortunately, our opponent here is going to probably take advantage of a lot of these alchemy cards. Not, again, fond of alchemy, period. But, I mean, hey, it is what it is. So, if we get run over, we get run over. It's not something I worry too much about. In any case, Lorien Reveal, Island, cycle it. So we got to dig out something here. And it's mostly just going to be that Contaminate Aquifer. Alright. Unfortunately, now their spells are going to get cheaper, which is going to be very annoying for us. But we will find a way around that. So until then, I think we will play Moon Circuit Hacker. So if we could at least start doing our ninjutsu shenanigans, we should hopefully be able to start deleting some stuff here. Okay, opponents cheapening their costs. Really annoying. This is fine. We will play... How do we do this here? I guess Satoru should come down now. No attacks yet. I can imagine they might be willing to then get rid of that Fearsome Whelp. But... Guardian Idol. Okay, we're definitely getting the ramp on. Sargon. Soul Flame. I haven't seen anybody play this card yet, so we'll see how well that does for our opponent. We'll play... How do we do this here? Let's play... I'll play this one here. Okay. So with that, we'll swing with both, and let's see what our opponent tries to do. They have to block with both. So with that, Ninjutsu away. Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, here come the shenanigans again, yes. So, we will bounce away Sargon. Draw a card. And we will just get rid of Fearsome Whelp. Okay. Well, as you can see here, that's why I love this deck. The shenanigans that happen with this deck allows you to get some really key plays in to at least avoid some really bad favorable, depending on how the combat goes, in your favor, actually. Miriam. All right. Well, here come the dragon. Goody. Okay, so we draw a card. We'll play Contaminate Aquafire here. How do we get around all this? Okay, so they're obviously going to have to block the Moonsnare Specialist. There's no choice about that one. So for this, okay, it has Ward 2. Okay, so with that, Ninjutsu in. We're bouncing back Satoru for now. Put him back in our hand. And with that, down to 22. We have to throw away a card here. So what do we toss out? I think we will toss out Throat Seeker. We will pay the 2. And we get rid of their dragon. Whew, okay. That at least puts it now at a highly much more expensive cost. So keeps it off the field a little bit longer. Okay, so with that. Alright, well, I mean, we could still get rid of it, so that's not the worst. Assault Bridge. Yes, we are sure. Okay. Ward 2 again. Pay the 2. Okay, well, that should mostly get it out of the game for now. Okay. So, go swinging. Down to 20. Okay, so nothing yet. Pass. Whew. Okay. I think we got their commander out of the way for most of the match, for the time being. Goldspan Dragon. Ugh. That's not good. For a really cheap cost, too. Okay, so they make a treasure. We go down to 20. Okay. Do they have enough already to cast it yet again? Not yet, it seems. Into the north. So they get a land out of that. Alright. Well, we're still doing okay so far, everybody. It looks bad right now, but we still have a way of getting around things. There's some looting. So they draw a card, discard a card. We have to make sure that that dragon doesn't come out again. So all we have to do is swing here. Okay, so I guess they're going to try to block here, which is a little bad. But we do have return to action. So at least we get to at least survive a hit here and get rid of some removal. Whew, okay. So that'll come back to the battlefield. We will play Satoru again. We will play Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, so they got 3 cards in hand, and they do have their Sentinel Worm, which now costs 10 mana. But is that enough? Hold on. Can they cast it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, it does come down again. Scary, but we do have ways of dealing with it. So it's not the worst. Okay, so with that, let's see. What do we do? Okay. We're just going to do our big swing here. Does our opponent... They're obviously going to have to block the Silencer. That's their card they have to block. So with that, Ingenious Infiltrator. Bouncing back Moon Circle Hacker. Draw a card. Okay, so with that, down to 17. Draw some cards. So, okay. We're not out of this yet, everybody. We will then... I think we'll then do a little bargaining here. So we'll bargain. We'll bring back the Silencer and the Moonsnare Specialist. We will sacrifice... Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Gotta do this right, everybody. Okay, so we're gonna go... We need to go full control for a second here. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, everybody. Here's what we're doing. Okay, so tap. Get our blue sources, get our black sources. We will then do here, back for seconds. Bargain. Silencer. Moonsnare Specialist. Here's why we're doing this. Okay, hear me out for a second here. So, sacrifice there. Resolve. Okay. Snare Specialist goes onto the battlefield. That back's in our hand. This triggers off, of course, so great. Bouncing away their worm again. Pays the 2. Phew, okay. Well, we're holding our own, everybody. That dragon is scary, but we are still holding our own. Okay. Phew, okay. They're obviously going to cast it once again, but again, it does slow down their gameplay because they have to keep spending so much mana just to keep that dragon out, so not too bad. Oh dear, Glory Bringer's a little scary. Ugh. Obviously, they're going to hit Satoru here. That's a lot of dragons, everybody. Yikes. Okay, 4 damage. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, we will put that back into our hand. Down to 7. Yeesh. Okay, so Parika's Libation's not the worst. So with that, they have to sacrifice at least 1 creature for that. So how do we do this here? Okay, so do you block, opponents? Okay, they do block. So with that, can we... Wait, is this for... Okay. Did I mess up here? I think I might have messed up. That's okay. It's okay, everybody. So with that... Okay. Draw 2 cards. We'll make them sacrifice a creature. Obviously, it's going to be one of their tokens, so that really won't help us that much there. But... Okay, so is there any way out of this here? I mean, I could put this down, but that doesn't... I don't think that's enough. Okay. All right, well, we bungled that one, everybody. Unfortunately, their dragons are just too much for us to handle. So we're going to have to concede here. I know I don't like to concede immediately, but you kind of saw there. We were not going to win that one, so we're just going to move on to the next match. That's totally fine, everybody. Let's go ahead and let's continue. But either way, the deck does a great job of holding its own. So I'm really feeling good about this deck. I really do enjoy this build of ninjas. Okay, so our opponent here is playing... What are they playing? Okay, so they play... Sorry. So they're playing Olivia, so I'm expecting some kind of graveyard shenanigans pretty bad here. But I would definitely give kudos to our opponent here. They actually did go all out because I guess they're big fans of Olivia. In any case here, so we're going to play our island first, and we'll play Thousand Face Shadow, and pass the turn. Okay, so opponent, what are you trying to do with Olivia here? What kind of shenanigans are you going to be trying to pull off here? Mostly it's just going to be a lot of, I'm guessing, milling? Dragon's Ray Channeler. Okay, so they are. So with that, Arcane Signet. We just go swinging. Down to 24. I forgot that with the changes they made with these in Alchemy, they technically can do other things here. But is that going to be enough for our opponent? Okay, so our opponent right now is doing some surveilling. They have a Dark Ritual, which is annoying, but that's fine, everybody. Let's see what they try to cast. Okay. They got... I can't pronounce that. Henrika Domnanthi? Did I say that right? I can't do words sometimes. In any case, okay. So she's going to do her shenanigans. Oh, I realized I had to slip out the back. Okay. Well, I kind of messed that up, everybody. That's fine. Venomous Changeling. Let's see. How do we do this? Okay. Put that down. Venomous Changeling can come in. I realized I probably could have saved that Thousand Face Shadow with our slip out the back, but I totally forgot that I actually had the mana for that. So that was a mistake on my part. That's fine, though. In any case... How are we going to be able to pull this off? Okay, they bolt. All right, well, that's a choice too. So, they draw a card, they ping themselves, they swing at us, we're down to 24, they're at 23. Okay, so, how do we get around all this? I think Satoru can come down now. We'll pass. Okay, so... How are we all feeling, everybody? For those of you that are joining us again, this part into the video itself, again, we're just playing Satoru with Shinobi. We're going all in on Shinobi, and we're going to hope that that'll be enough for us to get a couple wins. If those of you who haven't caught the earlier part of the stream, we're going to definitely protect that now. Okay. So again, for those of you who haven't seen the earlier part of the stream, we basically were playing for the Midweek Magic Satoru, and it did actually very well for itself. However, we're now going to take this, as you see here, into the actual Brawl format to see how well it does in just standard Brawl. So with that, let's see, how do we do this here? Okay, so down to 23, and then I guess we'll just pass here. Okay. This we can get rid of if we absolutely have to, but the whole point, again, I'm trying to do is, okay, so we're just trying to see how well our Shinobi deck does. And if you didn't see it earlier, don't worry, again, the video will be up on YouTube, so you can all check that out later on. I would love for you to do that. Oh, okay. Well, wait, did we get raided right now? Whoa. Welcome, everybody, for those of you who are watching. Okay, so our opponent's swinging here. And we'll just take the damage. Down to 14. Ouch. That's fine, everybody. We will then pass here. Welcome, everybody who are just joining us right now. We're just playing some Brawl here, and we're seeing how well our deck can do. So with that, Silver Fur Master coming down. We'll bounce away Satoru for a second. We'll put it back into our hand. And then that means we can Fatal Push away this. That does mean they get a blood token out of the deal, but that's totally cool. All right. What do you got, opponents? Do they have another answer? Okay, they're just sacrificing the blood token. This is fine. Down to 25. So with that, we'll put down Satoru again. Okay, so we're just playing again some fun Brawl, everybody. Again, if you haven't seen the full video. Okay, here comes Olivia. Yikes. It's fine. It's going to bring back... Ooh. Well, that might be a little bit of a problem for us, but that's okay. That's fine, everybody. Just keep doing our thing here. So with that, is there really anything we can do here? I guess we'll just have to do some damage. And then we're just, again, trying to see how well our deck is pulling off this right now. Okay, I don't think we're going to win this one, but that's totally fine, everybody. We'll just get the next match going. Kalitas, I mean, it's obviously not going to do anything. They'll obviously pay the one. Not a big deal. We're just, again, having fun right now on Brawl just to see how well our deck does. There you go. Kalitas is down. I'll let our opponent swing here, which is fine. But again, we're going to pull this off again in another match. So, I'll let them do the thing. Ouch. Terrible match, but that's fine, everybody. Again, I ain't mad, but again, for those of you who are joining us, we're having a lot of fun right now playing Satoru's Shinobi here in Brawl. We managed to pull off some wins with the Midweek Magic with the deck, so then the deck does really well for only a budget of 10 rares, which is really sweet. So be sure to check that out. We'll do a replay, of course, as I mentioned earlier, on YouTube, but until then, we'll just keep continually checking out this super awesome deck that I put together, and we're gonna have some more fun with it as we continue on. We're gonna only keep playing for probably I would say about 30 to 40 minutes more. Again, my streams aren't the longest, but we definitely have a lot of fun. And if you are interested in checking out more of our budget arena content, you can definitely check me out on YouTube. We're, again, hoping to keep our channel growing and having a lot of fun there, showing off some of the latest and budget deck technology. At least that's what I like to call it. So going back again to here, as you see, okay, so we got a Bajuka Bog, we got an Island, Maestro's Theater. We definitely have some ways of getting, oh, this is actually going to be a really sweet hand if we can pull off the shenanigans here. So we're going to keep this. Definitely keeping this. So, game plan right now. Satoru can come out ASAP, and then we start doing our ninjutsu shenanigans with our creatures here. Opponent is playing Ruthless Ripper. What are they playing? Okay, they're playing Arata here. So, some kind of an assassin shenanigans. That's totally fine. Maestro's Theater. What do we get, though? I think we're going to have to get an island. The reason why we need to get an island is we want to make sure that we have enough mana to then use that filter out if we need to in a pinch. But otherwise, welcome everybody that are joining us right now. Oh, we actually got another island. That's kind of awkward. That's fine, actually. So we won't be able to play Satoru for a little while, but that's totally cool with us. Moon Circuit Hacker. Unless you got a response to that, opponents. Okay, they don't. That's fine. Unless they have spot removal. Okay, nothing yet. That's fine. So, with that, Reliquary Tower. All right, there comes their Urdratrata. They go swinging here. We won't block just yet. This does mean, unfortunately, they get to do their shenanigans, which I don't like, but it is what it is, everybody. So with that, put that down. How do we do this here? How do we get out of this mess? Okay. Well, we're going to have to pass, unfortunately. This is not what I want to do, but it's fine. I don't know if we're going to be able to then outpace our opponent now, since they're going to start doing their shenanigans. So they go swinging, I'm guessing. All right. This is very much not what I want to do at all, but we don't really have a choice here, which is fine. Do you have an answer, opponent? Okay, so they don't. But we get rid of Retrada, so that's what we needed. We need to get her off the field. But they are still going to steal our stuff, which I'm honestly not a fan of stuff being stolen. It's not my style of Magic, but that's totally fine. If that's how they want to play, I mean, we can't really stop them. Darkblade Agent. Well, I mean, I can counter that at least. So at least that's off the field. Alright, our turn. Arcane Signets. Might be a little too late on this one. So with that, that comes down. Satoru the Infiltrator. Bajuka Bog. Exile one card. Yay. Oh well. Okay, so got an island. Okay, opponent, what do you got? You got 5 cards in hand. Okay, so there's the actual real Etrata that I worry about. So with that, unfortunately, everything has Death Touch, so can't really block anything. Man, this is really awkward. Man, our opponent's just going off here. Okay, so what do we even do here? I don't even know how we get out of this. There's not really, I mean, again, there's not really anything we can do against this, so, oh boy. Okay, well, we got an island. Not what I wanted to see, but oh well. Put that down. Okay, so with that, oh man, this is so awkward. Just not pulling off anything here. Okay, so we can't do any of our ninjutsu shenanigans. So unfortunately, this is the best we can do. Wow, we've been stopped by some Death Touchers. Yikes. All right, well, okay. Okay, breathing in here, and we'll just see what our opponent's going to try to pull off here. I don't think we're going to be able to pull off any victories here with this. Our opponent, unfortunately, is doing their thing. So we lose a creature there. Do they have any more removal? If they have a removal, then we might as well just lose here. Down to 16. Okay. They put the bounty counter on. They get rid of our creature. Okay, well, I know. I don't like personally conceding that early, but we were getting steamrolled there, and I really just didn't want to sit through that. That was not fun at all, so we'll just continue on. Okay, moving on. We still got time left, of course, in the stream, so for those of you that are still watching, thank you again for your support. I really do appreciate you guys all watching me today. We're going to continue on, and we're going to hope that hopefully the next couple matches we'll get some more sweet wins, and we'll definitely have a lot more fun with the deck and trying to really show off what this deck is capable of. We've already had a couple of victories where you definitely saw the deck can snowball out of control if our opponent's not prepared, but the last couple of matches you saw here, you definitely can see the issue we have with the deck. Again, if you cannot get Satoru to go off and draw a bunch of cards, then the deck kind of fumbles a bit, but I still think this deck is actually pretty solid for the budget it is setting at. Again, only 45 bucks to put this deck together if you want to do it in paper, and on Arena, it's about only 10-ish rares. But again, I will leave a deck link at the end of the stream, and I'll put it into the YouTube video, so you can all see it on the replay later on if you are interested in this for the future. But otherwise, going back to here, okay, so we only have one creature. We do have a way of pulling out some more islands if we need to, but I think we should mulligan this. And then, okay, so we have one shinobi. One ninja, if you will. So we'll keep this. Okay, so with that, how do we do this here? I guess we'll play Swamp. Alright, another Swamp there. Okay, Kotose will be nice for later on, but for now, tap land. Okay, game plan right now. Okay, our opponent's playing Massacre Girl, which is a little scary, but that's fine. We do have a Bitter Triumph, which is not bad for later. We will play Dokuchi Silencer. And opponents, what do you got? Are you bringing down Massacre Girl yet? Iron Crag. Okay, well, that's a choice too. Do they have removal? Wait for it. Alright, there it is. Removal. Unfortunate, but that's fine. This is okay, everybody. So with that, we'll play our Reliquary Tower. Okay, and then with that, do we do anything else we want right now? I guess we're going to have to pass for a bit. I know. Nothing really super exciting right now, but don't worry. We are hopefully going to build into our options here. Master Girl. Bitter Triumph. We'll pay the 3 life. Get rid of that. Okay, so their commander back is off the field, so that means it's going to be more expensive, so that gives us time. Biting Palm Ninja. So we'll just have to hard cast that. Alright, so if we can get in one hit with it, we should be able to then slowly start building up some extra value. Clackbridge Troll. Not quite, again, what I want to see. Decline. Do you swing, opponent? We'll get rid of these. Actually, hold on a second. I realize, wait, I can use these. I can use these for ninjutsu shenanigans if we can at least get maybe 1 card out, but we'll see. So with that, Biting Palm Ninja, down to 22. Okay, let's get a little peeky peek at their hand. So we'll use that. Okay, so what do we get rid of? Braids, Frost. Okay. Okay, so what do we get right here? Alright. I guess we'll get rid of that Baraska. That's our biggest threat right now. So with that, Satoru, how do we do this here? Braids. Okay. It's going to have to come down, unfortunately. And Spell Pierce that. Phew! Okay. We're holding ourselves off for a little bit longer here. Sacrifice 1 creature just to force them to tap. What do they pick? It's probably going to be a creature. Wow. Okay, it's a land. I mean, not ideal, but that's fine. Alright, we pass. Contaminated Aquafire. Satoru coming down now. We go swinging. Do you block, opponents? Most likely they won't. That's not what I'm anticipating they're going to do. But otherwise... Oh, okay. I'm surprised they blocked, but okay. I guess that's a choice. Light Belly Rats. Let's see. Do we sacrifice now? I guess we're going to have to. I don't want them to keep getting more cards, but we are in a really bad spot, so I don't want them to just keep doing their thing. Okay, they quit. Alright, well... do some damage here. Down to 26. Okay. Whew. Masker Worm. Well, we can't allow that to survive, so that's got to go. So that gets exiled. Sacrifice our last goat. We unfortunately didn't get any chance to use them for anything, which sucks, but it is what it is. We get 1 poison token. Our opponent here is looking at our last creature. Do they actually have removal for that? Oh, they have the Fatal Push. Well... I think at this point we might be done again, which is unfortunate. Wow, we are really striking out right now with this deck. This is not quite what I was expecting the deck to do at all. So, I mean, we only have 1 turn right here, and we can't really do anything else. We did not... Oh. Alright, well, that stinks.
A fight? And you think you can win?
Alright. I'm not mad, everyone. I'm not mad. Unfortunately, that means that now we just lost the match, and ouch, that stunk. But it's okay. We're going to, again, hopefully see if we can bounce back in the next one. We got to keep playing a little bit longer. I do really want to at least end the stream on a fun note with what our deck was trying to do. Let's go ahead, let's continue on, and we'll see how well we can do. So, while this match is loading up, again, what are your thoughts so far? For those of you that are watching right now, what are your thoughts currently on the state of the game? Are you liking Magic the Gathering right now? Give me your thoughts again on maybe some of the, I don't know, the secret layers, your thoughts on maybe upcoming sets. Is there anything you're hyped for, anything you're excited about, anything that kind of bothers you currently with the state of the game? Let me know in your comments below, and I would love to hear from all of you. All right, so in other words, going back to the match here, we have Skull Snatcher, we have some Deadly Dispute, Lorien Reveal, some counter spells, and a card draw. A little light on creatures, but we definitely can still build to what we need. And our opponent is playing Okiba here. Okay. We're going to probably deal with some shenanigans with these upkeep nonsense in a bit, but we'll see if our opponent can pull it off. In other words, let's see. Can we outpace them? They got a Snarl. Okay, got a Mounted. All right. Lorien Reveal, Island Cycling. We will pull out an island. All right, we got Ingenious Infiltrator, which is great for the future. So with that, do we do this now? Okay, so I think Skull Snatcher will go. We're going to see if we can try to ninjutsu an Ingenious Infiltrator. That at least can help us start drawing cards. But it all depends on, again, what our opponent's trying to do here. Ophilomancer. Oh. Well. Not quite what I wanted to see. That's okay, everybody. Mistfall Bridge. So, how do we do this here? I think we're going to swing here. Most likely they're going to block with their snake. Okay, so with that, Deadly Dispute. Sacrifice. Draw some cards. Okay, so we got some lands, which is great. We will then Fatal Push away Ophilomancer. Okay, so at least we got that off the field. We didn't want them to keep making some annoying blockers. So with that, Satoru can maybe come down. We have a Disruption Protocol also for counterspell shenanigans. We also have an Unearth as well. So we do have options. We definitely have a way of getting around this stuff. All right. Well, let's see if they can get around with these shenanigans here. So first off here, let us play Satoru. We'll unearth Skull Snatcher. Bring that back. We draw a card. Okay. Well, we're setting ourselves up here. So let's see. Is this going to be enough for us to do anything? All right. Sulphur Springs. They definitely have more mana than us. That's unfortunate, but it all depends here on if they can pull off some shenanigans. What do you got, opponent? You got 5 cards in hand. 5 mana. Cemetery Tampering. Okay. We're doing little hideaway shenanigans here. Wait, hold on. What does this card do again? Beginning of your upkeep, you may mill 3 cards. Then if there are 20 or more cards in your graveyard. Okay. Are they going to swing here? They do not. So, we will consider. Get the Rivulet. Alright, filter out. Okay. So, how do we get around this? Okay. I think we'll swing here, and let's see what they block. If they block our commander, then that does give us a shot here. Okay. So, with that, ninjutsu. Bounce away to our hand. We then draw a card. Okay, so this actually might be helpful for us. This will prevent our opponent here from doing their shenanigans. Okay, so they still got a ways to go for this hideaway. But until then, let's see what our opponent's trying to do here. So they're going to mill. If we can just exile their graveyard, that actually might help us out too. Or we can bounce away the Cemetery Tampering with Filter Out. But we want to see if they actually put down any other artifacts or enchantments. Kirin Outlaw. Okay. Does our opponent swing here? Okay, Bayin fail. Secret Tech, everybody. No damage to us. Woo! Okay. So that helped out a little bit there. Alright. Opponents. Go swinging here. Okay, so Do I want to bounce this now? I think we'll just have the card draw. Okay, back for seconds is not the worst right now. That might help us out in the future, but we're going to wait a bit. We have counter spells. So I want to see if our opponent... They need 20 cards milled. Okay. That's a little ways away. That's good for us. We could still buy some time. Okay. So in other words, how are we going to get around our opponent here? Gutter shot. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's a choice. Okay, so I think I know how we're going to do this. Okay. I think I got this. I got this, everybody. I got this. Just watch. Just watch right here. I think I have a dirty little idea here. So it all depends. If our opponent says swing. All right. Filter out. We bounce away their stuff. Down to 22. That does mean they get to do their upkeep shenanigans, which is awkward, but at least it buys us time with their cemetery tampering and whatnot. All right. Rekindling Phoenix. So swamp. We will... How do we do this here? Okay. So, okay. We will not attack yet. We'll see if our opponent does anything here. This means that, unfortunately, their werewolf here transforms, but it's not the end yet. All right, opponents. You have 3 cards I still don't know what they are. Cemetery tampering again. So they hide away another card. I don't know what that exile card was. I really wish I could see it, but oh well. Still 3 cards I don't know of. Stealth mission. Alright. We will counterspell that. We can't afford to have them make unblockable hits. That's the one thing I don't want. Alright, so... block it here and block here. Alright. Down to 12. Ouch. Flips back. We'll play Pit of Offering. And then, what do we get out of here? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's out of the way. Ninjutsu. Draw a card. So far so good, everybody. We will then... Ooh, okay. This actually might be better for us. Bounce again. Draw another card. Okay, what do we bounce away here? So, I think... Rekindling Phoenix, because we can't deal with that just yet. Down to 17. Phew. Okay. Flips again. They do some more milling. They're down to 7. Okay. All we just need to do now is just going to hopefully just start bouncing more stuff. We have Kaito Shizuki, which is a really, really awesome card for us. But is that enough? Still anybody's match. We'll see. Okay, so while we're waiting on our opponent here, I think another question I do want to ask, if you haven't already answered, whether you're answering here live or if you're going to answer it later on in the comments, our opponent is taking their time here, is what are you interested, of course, also in maybe say, what do you think is going to be something that we may expect from some of the future sets? I know that's a ways off. We're talking about things like Duskborn. That's going to come out in, what, is that October, I think? That's a ways away, but it's not a set that I'm interested in, but maybe some of you out there might be interested in that. Let me know in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you for that. But in any case, okay, so our opponent did their Plarg and Asari thing. I forgot, what does this card do again? At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles card from an opponent chooses the non-land card. Cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Okay. 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 I guess. All right. Exile an online card. Okay. So we gave them basically Darksteel Reactor, which is not something that I'm concerned about right now, but maybe in the future that might be something scary. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Oh, actually, maybe I should have swapped that around. Okay. Well, and we might not be winning this one either. This is really awkward. Okay. A flip. Swamp. Okay, so with that, Kaido Shizuki. Coming down. So, how do we do this here? We will swing here with Satoru. And then we will ninjutsu. Bouncing it back. Putting it back to our hand. Okay. Down to 15. Wait. Maybe I should have been using this card. I don't know. I'm not sure. Wait. Maybe I did this wrong. Okay. -2. We will... How do we do this here? We got... We have that many creatures in the... Okay. Satoru can come down again. Okay, opponent. Opponent's thinking about something. Okay. Kaito faces out. Okay. I'm not sure what was the best course of action here. I know someone might be telling me like I probably should have used Okiba Gang Shinobi maybe a little bit more. But the issue is I also didn't want to trigger off their cemetery tampering too much here. So... Okay. So they play Return to Action. They pump it. Okay, so we get rid of our 2... Actually, hold on. Get rid of Terramorphic Expanse. They do some more milling. We're up to 16 cards, which is a little scary, but that's fine, everybody. We still have time, hopefully, in this. So, again, looking at the clock right now, I'm thinking maybe we might be able to get in 2 more matches, and I think that might be it for the stream today, everybody. Again, I as much as I would love to stream longer, if for those of you who haven't seen my other streams, we can't run as long as some of the other people out there that play. Oh, well, we just lost right now. But again, main reason is, again, I've got other things I got to take care of, but that doesn't mean, again, I don't enjoy this. I'm having a lot of fun. It's just, again, just got other things to do. So, sadly enough, don't worry. We'll play maybe 15 more minutes on the stream, I believe, and we should be good to go from there. But thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate all the support you are still giving me for those of you that are still watching. We're going to hopefully end at least one more game on a win. We're going to see if we can try to get one more win at least with this, and then we'll do a quick wrap-up of the video. We'll do a little bit of my opinions on stuff, and we'll give you a quick little sneak peek. For those of you that are still watching this late into the stream, thank you again. My true fiery friends, you'll get a chance to see what are going to be our future videos coming up over the next couple of weeks as we then get to the end of the stream. So don't worry, don't take off just yet. We have a lot more to have fun with and stick around with. Just a little bit. But in any case... Let's see. So Pashilik Mons. Okay. So it's going to be a Goblins deck versus our Ninjas. Which deck can pull off the shenanigans better? Okay. So with that, looks like we got Changeling Outcast, which is great for us. We'll play Waterfront District first. Okay. So Thousand Face Shadow is great. And Biting Palm Ninjas also be solid too. But it might take a little while for us to get there since we don't have the best mana for this. So we'll just keep working with it though. Changeling Outcast coming in. Satoru will be great for us in just a little bit. Opponent's going to start getting the ramp on with Wily Goblin. Okay, so what is it? Okay, Dire Flail here can be equipped for 1. We also have a filter out, which is great for us if our opponent gets a little too frisky with their artifacts. So with that... Alright, so... Let the ninjutsu shenanigans begin. Hit them for 3. Take action. Let's see what they got. What do we get rid of? Okay, so I see. So they got Trashmaster. That's gone. We just got rid of one of their key cards there. So that's not too shabby for the early part of the game. Alright, with that. One's got Upgrade. Just fine. I'm not worried about that right now. They got a flail. They hit us down to 3. Okay, Kaido's Pursuit. So, how do we want to do this here? I think we will put down Kaito Shizuki now. We will tick down. Phase it out. Okay, so the game plan right now, if you aren't watching, so we're going to try to see if we can ninjutsu this into some more shenanigans in just a little bit. That should be enough for us to then hopefully just get ahead of our opponent here. Hopefully it should be enough. Whew. Okay, so let's see. Our opponent has 2 cards in hand. Faithless Looting. They draw 2, but then they discard 2. So we're still a little unsure of what's the rest of their cards. Okay. So they threw away Gleeful Demolition. All right. Hash of the Commands is coming down. They swing. No blocks. Down to 19. Okay. So how do we go about this, everybody? What do we do? Okay. Changeling Outcast. We will Satoru the Infiltrator. Do some damage down to 21. Tick up. Draw a card. Okay, you are already dead is not the worst. So, if they don't have any more removal, we should be okay here. Oh, Muxus. Oh dear. Please have a bad hit. Okay, that's not the worst actually. Opponent goes swinging at our Kaito. If he dies, that's fine. Down to 2. Okay.
Oh, there will be a next time.
All right, we're still not getting the lands, so unfortunately that's awkward for us. But how do we get around this? Okay. I think... How do we do this? We're going to have to pass here. Man, not having enough lands right now really kind of hurts us here, but we're going to keep trying. Faithless Looting again. Draw 2. Discard 2. As long as they don't have, again, removal, we should be okay. They threw away some lands. Okay. What do you got, opponent? Interesting. Okay. Okay. Our creature can't block this turn. Okay. Well, not quite what I wanted to see. Alright. Let's get the pump. And, well, I guess we're going to have to do this now. Neutralize the guards. So, with that... Oh, there's all our lands. Well... Alright. We get rid of some stuff. And we don't have to worry about taking a hit here. Oh, actually, I forgot. They can actually just ping us out here. Down to 16. Down to 9. Ouch. Well, I mean, that's, again, what we deal with when it comes to budget decks. But, so far, we've been doing pretty well with what we have. Okay, equip for 1. Alright, get that swamp. We will... I'm not sure how we even get out of this. So, Thousand Face Shadow just coming down. No attacks. Alright. Filter out here might be helpful in the future if we can at least some way, somehow get around this stuff. But I don't know if we're going to have enough time to do this. Opponent. Cranko. Alright. Sacrifice an artifact. And then put a +1/+1. Okay. Oh. Well, this looks disgusting now. I would just like to get at least one more win before our stream is done today. But unfortunately, we're in a weird spot. So, here's how we're going to do this. Take the hit there. And we'll just lose, actually. Alright, that's fine, everybody. I'm not mad. I'm going to try one more. Hopefully we can get one more win with what we're trying to do today. Just one more win. That's all I want to get, is at least end the stream on a win. That's what I would like to see. Come on, deck. I believe in you. I believe we can pull this off. Not always going to get the wins we want, but I do appreciate all of you that are, again, sticking around for this. Honestly, if you want to upgrade this deck, that was something I didn't mention earlier. There's honestly not too much you really just need to do the upgrade. We pretty much put already into the deck all the best budget ninjas we can. There's only a couple of rare ninjas that I think we might have missed, but I think those are all alchemy cards. So personally, I'm not going to put them into my deck, but if you are interested, you can also put them in yourself. It really comes down to, again, what your personal preference is. So kind of play around with it and see what works best for you. But in any case, going back to our deck here. So, all right, Miss Syndicate Naga is actually a really good card, but we need to find a way to make that work. So I think our best option here is going to be Soured Springs. So if we can get Lorien Reveal, we could probably get at least one more land off of that, get Miss Syndicate Naga out, and do our thing. So with that, Choked Estuary, cycle this away. We will get our island that we need. We need an untapped land. And from there, we should be able to pull off what we need. Fencing Ace. Oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do here. All right, so with that, let us... How do we want to do this here? Okay. We are going to take down, make our unblockable ninja, phase out Kaito.
All kinds of connections.
And then from there, if we can at least pull off some shenanigans here, we should be able to then go off with Miss Cinder Naga. We'll see if that should be enough. Mastery Cat. Scary, but it's not impossible to get around this. We'll put some counters on it. No blocks. Down to 23, down to 21. Alright, so how do we get around this? I think we just have to hit him. Ninjutsu. Bounce away the token. Do some damage there. Obscure Storefront. We will get out... Okay, what do we get out here? A Swamp. Draw a card. Okay. Hidden Necropolis again is a tap land, which is awkward, but that's totally fine, everybody. We can still find a way to get around all this. Our opponent, obviously, if they're playing aggro with Bassery Cat, they're obviously going to have to swing. Oh. Alright, we're going to lose our Naga right now. Wow. I can't believe that. Wow.
This is what you
That
get for
really,
hurting my
really
people.
sucked, because now that kind of threw off our game plan here. So, man, that really was not the play I wanted to see right now. Okay. It's not the worst, everybody. We're not dead yet. We still find a way to get around this. So we're just going to have to hang in there just a little bit more. And we're just going to have to pass here. Okay, so new game plan right now. We need to start forcing them to start discarding their stuff with our Okiba Gang Shinobi. I can't imagine that they have too much card draw with a white deck.
Remember your training.
All right, so I'm going to just keep taking up.
I will
But
guard your advance.
we're going to be running out of time quick here. No blocks. All right. All right. Let's see what we got, opponents. Down to 12. We have one turn to turn this around. Just one turn. All right. Ooh, Heartless Act. That's not the worst. So. Swing here. Do you have an answer, opponent? You do not. Okay. So Ninjutsu for 4. That's expensive. Put it back to our hand. But that's not enough, I realize. Because no matter what we do at this point, our opponent can just steamroll us. Do you have an answer, opponents? Alright, well, we can counterspell that. But that's not enough. Down to 23. They throw away 2 cards, but we just can't get around their little combo there. Man, that stunk. Okay, okay. Maybe one more. I really want to see if we can end this on a win. I would really love to see us finish off this stream with at least one more victory. Come on, deck. Hopefully we'll have a better matchup here. Hopefully just one good matchup. Otherwise, For those of you that are still hanging around there even beyond this point, I do appreciate, again, your support. It is not quite the best when it comes to seeing our deck struggle. But again, we can't just give up just yet. So hopefully we'll find a way to get there with what we got. So it still looks decent if we can get some more lands going. Okay, so they're playing Saram, so it's going to be a lot of equipment shenanigans, but can we get around that? That doesn't mean that it should be a Voltron deck, so I don't expect too many creatures coming down, which could be to our advantage, depending on how our opponent plays. All right, opponent's still taking time right now to look at their hand, and I don't know if that's what they want. We do have the edge here because we are going first, so that allows us to put down Malika Rebirth to start. So it does mean we should be able to counterspell Saram if they try to play it turn 2. Island, and we'll pass here. All right, opponents, will this be the turn you're going to cast Saram? I figured, so too bad, opponent. Okay, we wash away their hit, so that slows them down a bit. That gives us a shot right here. Okay. Well, this does bode well for us. So, which one do we put down, though? All right. Let's see. Miss Cinder get Naga. The reason for this is if we can then bounce that back with Ninjutsu going, we can create treasures, and then we can start gaining our ramp that we need. But we hopefully need to move quick here. Oh. Well. That's unfortunate for us. So instead, Satoru can come down. All right. Well, fortunately, our opponent is slowing us down on our side, but that's fine. We actually do have ways of getting around this. And you'll see why in just a bit. Actually, if we can then do back for seconds, which is kind of awkward to use it this way, but we can bargain our way out of the cooped up. But we'll see. Okay, Buried Ruin. All right, so they do have some artifacts in their deck. Oh. We'll put that back into the command zone. But Changeling Outcast is actually not bad. That's actually kind of good for us. So, how do we get around this? Okay, so with that... All right. So, we swing here. And then we will Prosperous Thief. Bounce back. Do some damage. Down to 23. Create a treasure. Okay. Well, we're going to make some headway here, which is great. Okay, deck. Come on. I believe in you. Will our opponent try to go off with Core Spirit Dancer? Skyblade Boon. Alright. Well, here comes the Voltron. But if we have a way of at least destroying their stuff, we might have a shot. Shadow Spear. Actually, if we can get a filter out, that actually would probably be our best option. I'm going to go swinging. Down to 22. We opt. Come on, deck. We just need our best option here to bounce away their stuff, and we have a shot here of getting a victory. All right, come on, deck. Okay, Arcane Signet. Tempting to keep, but I want us to find a way to bounce back stuff. Slip out the back's not the worst either. Devious Cover-Up. All right, well, how do we do this? Okay, so we go swinging here. Do you have an answer, opponent? They do not. Okay, so this gives us a small shot here. We will bounce away our Changeling Outcast. All right. I don't think they have. Okay. Phew. Okay. We're doing good, everybody. Make a treasure token. And they force themselves to discard 2. Ooh, they throw away a hammer. Wow. Okay, so with that, play Changeling Outcast again, because we got to keep snowballing here. That's all we can do to slow down our opponent here and beat them out. All right. What's your next move, opponent? Okay, here comes Saram. Oh, they don't have another option here. Okay, well, that's not too bad for us. So, down to 19. Alright, so how do we get around all this? Okay, I think this is gonna seem awkward, but submit 0. Wait, hold on. Oh, this doesn't work because it's not mine. Okay, cancel. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Okay, so with that, we will play... Okay, how do we get around this? Alright. So, Satoru coming down again. Oh, we just need to just do some damage against our opponent here. So, we still have a shot at least. Down to 12. Make another treasure token, which is great. And we get to discard their cards. Whew, okay. Ooh, that Declaration Stove would have been brutal against us. Okay. Well, our opponent basically now has to start awkwardly doing their thing here. Okay, so we're going to phase this out. We're going to do that just to make sure that they can't start stacking stuff on it. Hopefully that should be enough. Alright, they got land. Cartouche. Alright, they still get to draw cards, which is annoying, but it's not the worst. We just need a way to just get around their stuff. If we can just, again, get that filter out, that's really what we need to start going off here. Okay, down to 13. Alright, Unearth is not what we need right now. So, cycle that away. Come on, deck. We really, really need a better option here. Alright, Hidden Necropolis also is not my ideal situation here. Alright, well, it's at this point now a battle of attrition. Okay, so... down to 6. But we do get to create some more treasure tokens, which is nice. But is it enough? We don't have that much time left against our opponent here, because they are going to be able to start snowballing very quickly here. Come on, deck. I would love us to get one more win today. Just one more win is all we want. Alright. If we have to in a pinch, we also can neutralize the guards just to slow them down just a little bit. Okay. They pump. They go swinging here. Come on. Okay. Neutralize the guards. Slow them down just a little bit. Alright. Neither of these help us out. Down to 4. Down to 2. Yikes. Oh, deck. Okay. Alright. Desperation time, everybody. Hidden Necropolis. Come on, deck. Ooh, okay. I'm trying to sacrifice the creature. They're obviously going to get rid of Saram, which I didn't want, but alright. With that, is there anything else we can do? Is this it for us? Man. I mean, we could discard their card, but... Man. I don't think we're going to... We lost this one, everybody. Well, we tried. We tried our hardest right at the very end here, but that's fine. We'll just counterspell that. So, well, we did what we could, everybody, but just was not enough. Man, we just couldn't stop that Spirit Dancer. Ouch. Alright, well, we tried, everybody, but looking at the clock right now, I can't go any longer, so sadly, we're just going to have to end on a loss. Not an ideal, but hey, it's fine. I'm not super bummed about it. I was just hoping we would at least end it with a happier moment. But that's totally fine, everybody. So, let's go ahead and let's just wrap this up real quick. We're going to ask again the question that we always ask in any one of our deck techs, whether it's live or if it's just on here. What do you think about the deck, everybody? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Let me know in your comments below, and I would love to hear from you. But overall, honestly, I still am pretty satisfied with the deck. We might want... I mean, yeah, I was really happy with it, but honestly, I really want to think about, do we want to maybe tweak this a little bit more? Maybe, I don't know, maybe less tap lands. Maybe that's probably what hurt us a little bit in some situations. Also, maybe I would say some more bounce effects probably would be better for us versus more counterspell shenanigans. But again, you have options when it comes to playing this deck. For those of you that are interested in making this a much more powerful deck, if you're interested in making a much more upgraded version, definitely, of course, invest in stronger lands. I always recommend that. So when it comes to that, you know, just obviously go for all the rare lands you can. So anything that's rare, if you can afford it, that definitely helps you out here. So for the upgrades, definitely get cards like your Castle Lockwains, get your Search for Kantas. I would also recommend, even so, you know, get all of these rare lands here that are going to help you make this deck a lot more stronger. And then for those of you out there who are looking to do a little bit more with the actual creatures here, as I mentioned earlier, even if I go over this real quick, so if I was to put in here, you can see already, we already have all the rare ones we have. I mean, again, if you want to put in alchemy cards, that's your choice if you want to. You don't have to, but it is an option if you really want to go a little bit further with the deck. But again, this is for Brawl. Mostly, again, as if those of you who watch me, I do focus on mostly playing only to something that you can build in paper. So your mileage may vary. It really will depend on what you prefer. Overall, though, I'm still pretty happy and satisfied with the deck overall. One more time, we will leave this as soon as this video is over. I will put those details into the replay version that you will see on YouTube, so check that out when we are done here in just a few moments. But otherwise, I do want to say one more time, thank you everybody for hanging in there for this entire stream. Thank you again for those of you that joined the raid. I appreciate all of you, really, and I really appreciate that if those of you who do choose to actually do some subscribing. If you want to follow me on any socials, there, of course, you can see right next to me right here. Definitely check those out if you just want to be a little bit more in tune with what we're doing, if you want to be one of my true fiery friends. Otherwise, the only final things before I'm going to leave us is we definitely have some future deck tags, as you can see right here, giving a cute little sneak peek for those of you who hung out this late into the actual stream itself. So our upcoming video that we're going to have, cute little sneak peek here, we are going to be playing the Batman. This is actually a really fun deck, very, very janky, but I really liked what it was trying to do. Our other next two decks, we are going to have, of course, basically Blood. So this is going to be our future super ultra budget deck. These decks, if you haven't seen them before, if you're new to the channel, they're ultra budget, ultra rare. We're talking about, well, I don't mean ultra rare, but what I mean is they're ultra budget in the sense that they don't take a single rare or mythic to build. So if you're trying to play something that's just getting you started, check these out. Otherwise, our only final one, this one's still technically a work in progress here, but I'm trying to come up with our final one, which will be a stompy deck that's going to be budget. It's a little trickier than I thought, but we'll talk about that in the future. And our only other final deck that by the time that Modern Horizons 3 may be dropping, we'll probably be doing this deck, which is Mount Up. The mount mechanic that I saw from Thunder Junction is actually a little bit better than I thought. So I'm actually kind of hyped to play this one as well, but this one's going to still take a little bit of more time to tweak before we get it fully ready to go. But otherwise, you can kind of see, again, a handful of the other decks and stuff we've done in the past, but those are the ones that we're going to be focusing on in the next coming weeks as we do more content on YouTube. So be sure to check me out on YouTube if you haven't already, because you will definitely see that these are going to be some fun, awesome decks for us to do. But otherwise, I think that should be it for today, everybody. So we're going to then go back over to the homepage right here. And again, one more time, I really appreciate all of you who hung out this far, but I believe that pretty much brings us to the end of the video and the end of the stream. So as I say for all of my videos, no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.